Alright, I just want to expand a little bit on 3D control. In 3D control, I mentioned in the joint manipulation video where height, width, and depth. That's what space is comprised of. And if you can control all three of those dimensions, then ideally you can control an opponent in a situation, a violent situation. So let's look at a couple of different ways to control each one. So height we already looked at. If I can reduce your height right here, then I've already made control. I've controlled the height. Another way to control height is, and we'll get into this a little more, is with what's called the stomp. Okay, and I'm not kicking. What I'm doing is I'm simply raising my leg, keeping it locked, and essentially I'm stomping through the pelvis. And what that does is, look, it automatically reduces the height. So David's height is no longer a factor. And from here, this is where I can get head control. Boom, I've got head control here, and then I can manipulate my opponent in the direction that I want him. That's head and spine control. So there's two different ways that you can reduce height. Length, length we covered with Dumag. So that's what I'm doing with Dumag is when I get him here, I'm controlling the forward and backward movement this way and then that way. And now, see, now I'm controlling his depth. I'm controlling how far he comes back this way, how far he comes back that way. That's depth control. So that's your length. Also, when I had the hand here and I moved it out here, what I did was I controlled the width, the lateral movements. Also, when my opponent's like this and he's got his guard up, what I'm also doing is controlling, when I go to this side, I'm controlling the width, because now I'm no longer on the side of danger over here where his weapons are, but I'm on the lateral side of safety, and I'm behind him now, and I have much more opportunity for head and spine control. Another, if you put your hands up, of width control is a simple movement, just that simple movement of pushing your opponent and displacing him to where he's this way. See, now look at what opportunities I have at my disposal. And a lot of opponents don't even expect a movement like that. If I'm not even wanting to fight and I'm just kind of putting my hands up, because I want to draw him in. I don't want to square off and say, hey, let's go, man. I just kind of want to look. Violence is a matter of no choice. Okay, the square off is a choice. So real violence, you don't have to question. When it happens to you, it happens to you because you no longer have a choice. A bully is pushing, his way, is trying to dominate you. That, and no matter how much you try to be humble or walk away from it, he's intent on doing damage to you. That's a no-choice situation. Somebody tries to rob you at the ATM machine. That's a no-choice situation. That's violence. That's how you know the difference between violence and fighting. If we walk out in the middle of the street and we square up, that's not violence. That's a choice. We both made that choice. Violence is different. So that's how you'll know is a kid walks into a school with a machine gun, and he's already killed 40 students. That you might have to do damage to him is no longer a choice. That's just, it's either you or him or other students. If somebody attacks your family, it's the same way. You got your kids in the car, your wife's in the car, and some idiots got road rage, and he's trying to run you off the road, and you manage to get out, and you have a confrontation. He's intent on hurting your family. That's no choice situations. So that that's what we're exploring here. We're not exploring fighting and sports. We're exploring violence and understanding it a little better. But you might find yourself in situations where, in the confrontation, your opponent tries to square off. And when he does so, instead of joining in on that, there's a big difference in going like this, UFC style, and just putting your hands up. In an effort to, say, hey, look, you need to just back up, you need to get in your car, you need to, what you're doing here is you're giving yourself the opportunity to defend yourself should the opponent attack you. But you're not throwing your guard up like this, in a very apparent way. So you're just throwing your hands up. And now if he's already, upon you like this, even, the bully type, put your hands down. You know, if you're saying, no, I don't want, you really don't want any trouble. Bully mentality, when you are humble, is the predator mentality kicks in. He sees prey, you know, and if sometimes it's to your advantage to pretend like you're prey. So averting eye contact is behaviors of prey. You don't want to look him in the eye because that would suggest a standoff. And just, hey, look, guy, you know, look away. What that does is it draws him in, makes him more confident, and that's what you want. You want him closer. So in the same way that, you know, this is kind of how the bully mentality is you know, it lets them get closer to you. So just walk up and you know, and it's the chest and the face kind of thing. Well, this is exactly where you want your opponent, because if he actually is this close to you, this gives you the opportunity for head control. Okay, you can cut into the spine now. You can anchor him and cut imbalance. You can turn. See what I've done here? Basically, what I've done here is you know, like just literally walk up like, what's up, you know, like that. So if he walks up like this right there, then I have the opportunity to smash into the neck and push this arm out of the way. I don't want to face off with him. What I want to do is I want to get him backwards. See? That way there's less chance of an injury. So even with the, hey look, you know, I just want to, boom. Now, look, I have all the opportunity to follow through with head control and get my opponent off balance. So that's what you kind of want to do, is don't get involved in this. If you can help it, be humble, you know, throw your hands up so that you're prepared, but in a way that says, hey look, man, you know, if we can, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, go head to head here, you're a much bigger guy. If you can settle violence that way, it's a much better solution for you. Don't get involved in egos. You know, what you want to do is try to avoid it. But the moment he walks upon you, and you feel that movement, like he's gonna, you know, he's gonna get close, and he goes for that twitch, so like he's gonna overhand you and catch you like in the chin. Here you go. See, you want that displacement automatically. So go ahead and make that twitch. Boom. See, now look, I stepped through Dave in between his legs, cut into the spine, and now that same tool he was going to hit me with is no longer available to him. This arm is out of the way, and he's largely imbalanced. From here, I can manipulate, I can hit ribs, you know, I can just follow through with what I need to do. So that's really, you know, kind of understanding 3D space and 3D control. Is just understanding how to manipulate height, length, and width. And those are ways to do that. So.